Hey, hi YouTube. I hope you all guys are doing great. In this video, we are going to learn about how we can insert data in a table. Before this, we have seen how we can create table and how we can add some constraints like primary key, foreign key, and others. So now let's see how we can insert data in a table. So basically, we can divide this inserting part into two different things. First one is when basically the syntax differs. So first syntax is like this. So insert into, it's same as English, where we have to insert in a table. So table, insert into table name. Okay, insert into table name. Then we have to mention the columns like column 1, column 2, and if you have to insert uh, data in all the columns, then you have to mention the name of all the columns. Then values, and you can mention the values like value 1, whatever value you want to add in column 1, whatever value you want to add in column 2, and so on. And then the semicolon. You can also insert multiple rows at once just by adding here comma, and then again value 3, value 4, and so on. You can add multiple rows. Okay, it's not like just 1, 2, or 3 rows. You can add multiple rows. Then there is also another syntax like let's suppose you don't want to you want to add uh, data in all the columns. Then I think it's not necessary to mention all the names of column. So you can also directly add data like insert into table name, and then you can add the values like value 1, value 2, and so on. Okay, just focus that in this syntax, um, if you have 5 columns, then definitely you have to supply 5 values. But here, let's suppose you have 5 columns and you just want to add values in just 2 columns, then you can also add because you have to just mention the name of that 2 columns only. And same like here, if you have seen that we can add multiple rows, here also instead of adding semicolon, you can add comma and you can add multiple rows also. Okay, now let's see some practical. So previously, uh, in the previous video, we have created this table named as employee details, and this was the name of column employee ID, full name, salary, is active, join data. Employee ID is integer data type and it is auto incremented. So auto incremented means if one of the record employee ID is 101, so next time when you will create it, it will be automatically created and it will be 102 and so on, 103, 104. You don't have to add this value. But as I'm doing it on in an online SQL editor, it doesn't support auto increment. If you are working on your local system or like MySQL workbench, then you don't have to give this employee ID. Okay. Then full name is a string, a varchar, and the limit is 100, and it's not null, so you can't leave it as null. And salary is decimal 10 comma 2 means there will be 10 digits and 2 digits will be after the decimal, and the default will be 0.00. If you will not add salary column, then the default value will be 0 will be added. Then is active is boolean and the default value is true. If you will not mention is active, it will by default it will take true, and join date will be date time. Okay, so I have already created some query for you, like this is one of them. So so to save the time, okay, so insert into employee details, and I have added all the columns: employee ID, full name, salary, is active, join date. Okay, and the values is one is for employee ID, and full name is John, salary is 3000, is active, true, join data, and join date is this because it's date and time. So both date, which is in year, month, day format, and time, which is in hour, minute, seconds format. So if I want to add this value in this table, I just I have to run this SQL, and here you can see we have employee ID, full name, salary, and all is inserted. Okay, now also there was one other another syntax where we don't have to mention actually the columns, or directly what we can do is insert into employee details values. We don't have to mention this column name and 2 3 4 5 6. But what if I make it as 1? Okay, let me just remove it, otherwise it will also get executed. Now what do you think? If I will press run SQL, will this will be a perfect execution or not? Just look at it. Employee ID is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and employee ID is the primary key. So let's run it. No. So its unique constraint failed. So employee ID is a primary key and it should be always unique, because already we have an employee ID as 1. So we can't have an employee ID as 1, okay, in the entire table. Now, if I will run it, so here you can see we have inserted the data in a database. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we have the full name, salary, is active. Now you might be thinking that why is active is 1 and also is active is 0. So in programming, 1 is for true and 0 is for false. That's why if you see Anjali, which is having employee ID as 6, it's false, so it should be 0. So here 6, Anjali is 0. But if you see Shyam, employee ID is 5 is true, it should be 1. So Shyam is 1. Okay, cool. Now I think I have to also show you something that if you look at this point, so there was something as default. So what is the use of default? Okay, so let me add one more row. Okay, just I want to add one more row. It will be the last part. Employee details and employee ID and full name. Salary is default. Okay, so we have thought that we have made that if someone is not providing salary, then it should go with the default value, which is 0.00. And is active is also default. If someone is not mentioning is active, we will consider it as true. Okay, so let's do it. So is active, we will also not pass. So there are three columns that we want to pass. So this is why this part, this syntax is important when you have to take specific columns. And let's suppose employee ID is 10 and the name is, let's suppose, maybe Ketan, and we want this is it as 4,000 maybe, and not 4,000. Sorry, we are not passing salary and is active status. So let's suppose we make it as 2024 and we make it as 1 January, and let's suppose it's 10 a.m. Okay, now I'm just passing three things: employee ID, full name, and join date. Okay, so let's run it. Let's check. We have added. So 10 is the employee ID as added. Name is Ketan. But we haven't passed salary. So default value, which was 0, was populated here. And same is active. So is active is now 1, because the default value of is active was true. So that's why it inserted true here. And date we have passed. So this is also one of the way um, how just one of the way to insert, like I was just trying to show you that how to insert default values. Okay, default default values. Okay, just a simple example so that you should not miss it. Okay, cool. I think that's it. So here we have seen how we can insert the data. Now in the next video we will be seeing a select clause, select statement, how we can look up to the data. Then maybe we can see some where command or clause, and in the next video hopefully we will be seeing table alteration. Okay, like let's suppose in future maybe you want to change this um, name of the column or the data type or the constant of the columns, or you may want to change the name of table or whatnot. Okay, so this is how the flow will go on. Okay, so meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.